Welcome to an extravaganza. Can you believe it? It's been so long since we had one. Like 2 weeks, pretty much exactly. Man, well, this is a pretty interesting one we're getting into. Let's not waste any time. I'll see you in the chair. Hey, you know the drill. Oh my god, it's been such a week. It's been a really hard and long week. Oh my, some black stuff on my foot. I'll vacuum that. I'm gonna clean everything tomorrow, or tonight. We'll see how I'm feeling tonight. I've been neglecting a lot of responsibilities. I paid my rent late by accident. Not because I didn't have the money, but I just forgot. I paid it on the 7th. I've been so busy just working out, like scheduling and stuff. But man, it is Friday. That's all behind me now. Now I just have to do, like, basically just fun stuff. Yeah, so as you can tell from the title, speaking of money and paying rent and all that, haha, this one's all about finance. How to make money as a musician. Is it possible? It has to be. I've gotten questions about that, especially early on, where people are like, what do you do with your life? How are you practicing in the middle of the workday? Like every workday? Well, it's because I make money as a musician. So, you know, we'll talk about that. We'll get into that. Man, what are we gonna do today? Well, we have a video that I have planned that's gonna help us learn how to make money. You guys excited about that? I hope so. Oh, I'll go ahead and get to this too. We got a new Pokemon card pack to open up. I kind of miss doing these like every Friday, but it's okay. We got this Pokemon card pack. I'm gonna shove that in here. It's okay doing these every other week though. It allows me to improve more on the pieces. I haven't seen this question asked in a little while. I remember it was asked a good bit, but how to get started with teaching? Since this is a finance episode, I'll kind of walk through what I did to get started and kind of my journey. I'll just go ahead and jump to after college, because I did start teaching at music stores like during college, but it was after I graduated. That's when I moved and cut ties from all the work that I had, because I made my money in college teaching in music stores and then playing like this little church circuit that I built up. I had like 3 different churches I would play at, which was interesting. So after college, I moved to my college town's neighboring state because I was with a girl at the time who moved there for her job. This was also like towards like the height of COVID too. So I remember money was just so tight. Like I basically had no money. I don't know how I would have survived without those stimulus checks, honestly. Those stimulus checks were like exactly as much as I needed to like just get by before I could start my own teaching business. I was like 22 and I was applying to office jobs and stuff that paid like $30K a year. For like a 40-hour-a-week job, it's like, geez, that's not really that much, is it? And I have like a college degree and stuff, but like they wouldn't even consider me. I was a completely like, don't even call them back kind of guy. I have this joke where I say I'm completely unhireable. It's because nobody would hire me, except for me, I guess. My first job out of college, I started working at a warehouse. It was like 30 minutes from where I lived, and it was in the middle of nowhere. It was exactly like the stories that you hear of Amazon workers where they have to walk like 10 miles per shift. I lasted at that job for 1 week. I remember my 1 week paycheck was like $350 or something. It wasn't even a full week, I don't think. And I was working like 6-hour shifts. They like started me off low. But man, I hated that job. And what really spooked me about that job, I would talk to some of the older people there and they'd ask like, oh, you're like a new hire. And I was like, yeah, I've been here for 15 years. Oh my God. Like that's terrifying. Like I knew at the time that I had the potential to be at the very least a teacher. Like, come on, like I have like all this music knowledge and I was already a teacher, so it made sense. But moving to a new place and getting that started from ground zero, it takes a couple of months and I was like 22. I didn't like know what I was doing yet. Yeah, no, that freaked me out. I lasted at that job for a week and I quit. and then after that, I worked at a doggy daycare where I stayed at that one for like a few months. I didn't mind that job so much because I could just listen to podcasts all day basically. I would work an 8-hour day, just like a full day, and the pay, I remember it so clearly. It was $58. It was exactly minimum wage, $7.25 an hour. Yeah, that was brutal. It would just like barely cover rent, basically. That's what I mean. Those stimulus checks, they like saved me. Like, I don't know how I would have paid rent and eaten without those things. I'm not going into very much detail right now. I'm sure someday I'll go further into those stories. I can tell you stories from the doggy daycare that I worked at. Yeah, so of course, after all that, it was like, I need to figure something out. And figure something out I did, which this was during COVID once again. So I went around to music stores, but basically none of them were taking new guitar teachers. Yeah, because that's the thing. These music stores, they all have like a couple of teachers that they've had for like 15 years. If you take one like town, like there aren't exactly hundreds of kids trying to take guitar lessons at any given time. I feel like online teaching is kind of the way. There's a lot of people online. And like, how do you do that? I mean, you can just search educational lesson websites and just make accounts for them, like Fiverr. This isn't like strictly educational, but Fiverr is like an example of that. Make a Fiverr account and just post an ad. I know there's a bunch of you who are in college right now. Once you get out, be sure to jump on those online lessons. because there are plenty of people that would like to learn from you. And you can work out other stuff later, but that's a pretty solid option, especially starting out. You're gonna get great experience, earn money with a guitar in your hands, and teaching is super important. Like I've mentioned this before, I think teaching and performing should be basically on the same level. So I guess the thesis of this video, how do you make money as a musician? I'm kind of just starting off with the real answer. We're about to go into the dumb answer though. We're gonna be visiting an old friend, a friend that we haven't seen in a while, and I'm kind of sad about not seeing him, especially because of the promises I've been making at the end of his ads. I always say this little thing, I bet my life we'll see this ad again. I haven't seen one in a little while, so I'm a little concerned about that. I think we're about ready to jump into that video. Is there anything else I want to do? Oh, I'm still kind of chilling. Let's go to the first piece. And then after that, I'll see you at the chair where we'll visit an old friend. Bye! right, what'd you think of that? Pretty good, right? All right, let's see. Dang, Steven, looking lean, bro. Woo! Pentatonic scale. What happened to your thumb, bro? Why is there tape on your thumb? What have you been doing? Also, can we appreciate... I haven't had a haircut since starting this channel either. So, you should check out my first video, because that was actually like a fresh haircut. And then look at my hair now. Haven't cut it. He had a fresh haircut. Look at him.
I hated being a kid.
Dude, same. I hated being a kid because I didn't have power. I didn't have money. I had to go to church and stuff. I hated being a kid.
And that's a weird thing to say, but I hated it.
That's not weird. I think everybody hates being a kid. I was about to ask, are there any kids watching? I don't want to know. Don't make yourself known if there are kids watching.
I remember being 6 years old. We went to this shopping center called Bells in Florida. And my parents were shopping around and they kind of left me in this toy store. Going up and down this toy store.
They just abandoned you in the toy store. And you're like, what?
And I remember vividly seeing this toy. It was an action figure of a Hulk.
Yeah.
And it was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
You're like, I could overpower my parents if only I was the Hulk.
So I'm planning on how I'm gonna pitch to my dad when he comes. And he comes, I'm like, Dad, I've gotta have this toy. Dad, I've seen something. And I take his hand, I walk him down the aisle, and I'm like, look, and I'm telling him all these things that it can do. I'm selling him hard, right?
Dude, was that some Steven Ridley butt we just saw? You just interrupted yourself. It's been like 30 seconds. How'd you even get an ad that fast? I could do that in less than a month. That's easy, that's just octaves. I could do that in like 3 minutes. I don't need 3 months to do that. I'm never gonna show you my piano, but I could do that. It's just octaves again, that's not hard. If you could do that first one in 3 months, it's not gonna take you 6 months to just separate them. Yeah, okay. Dude, it takes you a year to play spread triads in C major. That sucks, dude. You should get your money back. Dude, sick jacket, bro. Oh my god.
It's Steven Ridley. I've been a concert.
We know you're Steven Ridley.
This for more
He's been a concert pianist for 9 years.
9 years.
You know, the years go by, that number never seems to go up. I don't think he gives concerts.
More than 200,000 people have already learned.
Whoa, 200,000? Wait, wasn't it 80? Whoa!
Everything that I thought before how you should learn piano seems to be wrong.
It was right. This guy's an idiot.
He just says, no, it's too expensive. And I couldn't close him. I couldn't change his mind.
There was nothing to change. He was like, Steven, are you joking? Like, we're here to buy food, Steven. Look at what we have rice and beans. You want to buy a Hulk toy? Get out of here, Steven.
The thing I hated more than anything was the fact that he had this power to stop me getting what I wanted.
You're still gonna have that same obstacle. As an adult, your new father is just like society and the government. You don't have the money to buy that car or to get the house that you like. It's not about being a kid or an adult. It's just not everyone has access to stuff.
I hated that I needed his permission. Just buy what I wanted to buy. I hated being a kid. I didn't know it then, but I started a pattern of behavior that then lasted more than 20 years.
What?
For 20 years. I felt like I needed to have permission. Decisions out of what other people want and whether they think it's okay, rather than what I think. And I start accepting people's ideas. And if I had an idea and they had a different idea...
God, I just want to spill some spaghetti sauce all over him, dude. That shirt.
I just assumed that their idea...
Just whoosh.
And I remember being 16 and I have to write on a piece of paper, what do I want to be? What job do I want to go into? Was to work in fashion. I like the idea of designing things. I love the way people look. I wasn't even thinking with music back then. I couldn't imagine music. Music was totally unrealistic because I had no idea how you make money working in music.
I didn't know how I'd make money either, but I was convinced that it would be fine. And it was. So you should do that too. That's a lesson to you.
And I have this constant feeling like I need somebody's permission to do the next thing.
What, when you were 16? You were a kid. Of course you, like, felt that way. This, like, 25-year-old is like, you know, I didn't, like, actualize until I became an adult. When I realized I don't need to ask my mommy and daddy anymore. Yeah, dude, you're not, like, a 45-year-old man figuring this out. This is pretty normal. Like, I have no idea what's going on in this video.
Permission to get my toy. I need somebody's permission to pick the subjects I want to study. I need somebody's permission to pick the career I'm going to do.
Calm down, dude.
And how does this story end? It ends like so many other stories. It ends in me working a job I hated. 21 years old, working in a bank. I got the status, I got the money, I got everything my mom wanted for me, and I'm miserable, and I can't understand why.
How are you 20 and you start working in a bank and you have the money and the status at 20? What? Where did Stephen Ridley come from? What was his family? The dramatic life of Stephen Ridley? Dude, seeing his passion for the instrument, Stephen's parents enrolled him in piano classes where he became a grade 7 pianist. With a keener ear for music, he became obsessed with blues. He realized that unlike classical music, one cannot play the blues without emotions. I hate you so much. Perhaps being a sad child helped Stephen compose his own music. Perhaps. He was a sad kid. I mean, look at him. My god, what do they think classical music is? Unlike classical music, those emotionless freaking performers, yeah. Okay, this article is written like for Stephen. I have no idea.
None of this was my idea. None of this was my decision.
And then he went to the Church of Scientology and he was like, I'd like to hear your decisions.
This moment happened to me, 21 years old, walking out of a bank. Complete freedom. Complete freedom.
Dude, people with complete freedom, they make videos like this. They talk about how free they are. Where are you? Is this your home?
And now my life is nothing more than an example of that freedom.
Is it? I guess maybe so. He hasn't posted in 2 years. Maybe he is actually free. Dang. Yeah, man, look at me trying to say something. I upload every day. I'm not free.
And if I do nothing else for this world, I hope that the way I live sets a good example for other people. I hope I should.
Dude, not everyone can live like that. The world would collapse. They can't all be lounging around in their brand new white clothes.
People what's possible. My mum told me this was too scary. I rang her at 4 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday night, crying from my desk in the investment bank. And I said, I can't do this anymore. I hate my job. I hate my life. And her response was, Stephen, everybody hates their job. 90% of the people on the planet hate their job.
That's not everyone. Mom, that's not everyone. That's 90%. That's pretty significant.
And I carried on.
Also, god dang, dude, you called your mom at 4 a.m. crying and she's like, suck it up, baby. Everyone hates their job.
Carried on. Some more weeks. I'm really breaking down. My hair starts falling out.
Oh my god, I'm sure that was devastating for Stephen. Dude, your hair started falling out? Oh my god.
Something's got to change. And luckily I left. It was this breaking point. It was this 20 years of begging for permission.
Okay, you were 20. How long did you work in that bank for? For like 3 months? Dude, what do you mean 20 years? The breaking point.
Years of begging for approval. 20 years of trying to impress people. 20 years of listening to other people's ideas. Just snap. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to die.
gonna die, dude.
And I'm not prepared to accept that. I should be having fun. These are the golden years of my life. I should be traveling. I want laughter lines on my face. I want to feel life. I want to breathe. I want to feel excitement and passion. I want to have love and loss. I want to fight with life. I want to take the hits. I want to live.
Yeah, so does everybody, man. I'm glad that you got to just quit your awesome job, though. People don't stay at their job for like no reason. You obviously were able to quit. You had like some sort of cushion to fall back on. That's why people stay at jobs that they hate, I'm pretty sure. It's because they have no choice. You had a choice, man.
That behind the protection of somebody else's maybe true, but maybe false ideas. I snapped, and it's the best moment of my life.
Dude, can you not curse on my show, please? I'm gonna have to bleep that now. He's just like coked out. It's like,
dude.
The
air has never tasted so sweet. I could taste freedom.
Yeah, okay. You know what? People always try to tell you how great everything is if you do something that they did. At least for me, I find I can be kind of a miserable person sometimes. And even if I'm doing something that's like super fun, I can find myself still being like miserable. It makes me wonder, it's like, it really doesn't matter what my situation is. Like, I'm always gonna be like a little miserable. I don't know, maybe I'm just unable to relate with Steven. Maybe it was this traumatic for him. I don't know, it all just comes back to like, most people would do this, Steven. Like, it's not hard to conclude that you should quit your job.
End of 20 years of begging for approval, of begging for permission. It's done. And I have no idea what I'm gonna do next.
That is really the situation. I have no idea what I'm gonna do next. Which, that's fine, if you can swing that. I mean, he's 20, that's the thing. And he did all that, and then he's like, let's make a sick cinematic video about it. Can't wait to get a budget and make videos like this about like nonsense. One day I decided to start working on the Beetle EV1001 Fugue. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like montages and stuff, me walking through the grass and just like so happy.
Travel the world. I do what I love.
You know, traveling the world can be a job too. Like, that's the thing, if you're a miserable person, you're just kind of inclined to be miserable, I feel like anything you do, traveling the world will just turn into a job, and you'll just be miserable again. There's really no escaping it. So I mean, sure, do what you want. I mean, maybe this isn't the best advice. I don't know.
Something funny. Coming back and sitting in a place just like where I'm from.
This is where I came from. I spawned out of this grass.
I've started having these moments recently where I feel so aligned. Everything in life feels so aligned. This life is a gift. I feel extremely lucky to live this way.
Yeah, dude, you are. You're a young dude who's like healthy and handsome and fit, like who can do whatever he wants, and you have a talent that people like. You're extremely lucky. You get to wear tattered up clothes. I mean, look at that. There's just straight up holes in his shirt. I feel like an old man now. I'm like, you got holes in your shirt. You look terrible. What are you doing?
Genuinely, sometimes it overwhelms me.
Yeah, dude. He's euphoric. He's like Manuel Barwaco. I'm surprised he couldn't get euphoric at the bank, you know? You think he would, being around all that money.
I spent the first 20 years of my life taking. I just want to take, I want to have as much as I can.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. The more I take, the more empty I became.
It's weird how he says the first 20 years when he's speaking like as a 20-year-old, where it's like, when I was a baby, I was just taking and taking. It's like, yeah, like so is everybody. That's pretty normal. Even for a 20-year-old, taking is pretty normal. I didn't stop taking and start giving to the community until I was 22. I don't feel weird about that. Like, I don't feel like that's a remarkable story. Like, I think most 21-year-olds and below are taking. Like, and that's fine. That's kind of just how it is.
I took, and eventually I had nothing. And I decided to take a leap of faith.
You just keep taking, dude. You can't help it, man. Now you're gonna take a leap of faith?
For a couple months, I was gonna make everything in my life about giving. Change my attitude. What can I give? What can I give?
As if this is giving. This is totally just glamour for Steven Ridley. But whatever.
When you give something, you lose something. It's not true. I can't describe this, but the more I give, the more full I feel. The more I give, the richer I become. I love giving it to other people. I love...
Yeah, I know, man.
People that little piece of freedom. I just love it. And all I want to do is...
He is giving, because right now he's giving to me, because I feel good, like, making fun of him. I don't know how he's talked about making money. Make money doing what you love. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get to that. That's why I gave you the real answer up front. That's how you actually make money. You teach and then work something out. At least that's a answer. This is not an answer at all.
I want to feel it. I can feel it when people are feeling it. It's incredible. I can feel it when we're connected. All of a sudden, people are not thinking about their little lives. They're not thinking about their worries. They're not thinking about their job.
Yeah, they're
not
just
thinking about...
freaking filming you on their phone. Everybody's filming it. Why? Dude, Stephen Ridley's performing in your metro area? Dude, you gotta film it. Oh my god. Why would you film that? That's a great PSA. Don't film. Just don't film stuff. What are you doing? Like, street performers? Don't film them. Just watch them. Why would you film them? I would never, ever film a street performer. That's just so weird. You guys wonder why I relate so much with, like, the older people? I think I might just be an old man based on everything I'm saying today.
Privileged to be able to go around the world doing this. I could explode with gratitude. There are these moments sometimes I really, truly feel infinite. Is when I become like a mirror. I feel I become reflective. It stops being about what I want to say. It stops being about my message. It stops being about what I'm putting out. I can feel there's this shift. It goes like this. I'm playing. All of a sudden, I'm connected with these people, and all of a sudden, I feel I'm reflective. They're seeing themselves. You started to see who you really are. You started to feel your real feelings, maybe the feelings that you're too scared to look at sometimes.
Dude, I can't wait to make videos like this. Also, if you have to wrap your thumbs up because of your bad technique, dude, it's time to work on that. You shouldn't have to wrap your thumbs. And they're showing it like that's cool. Like, that's kind of sad if you have to wrap your thumbs like that. Like, there are people who play some pretty crazy stuff that don't wrap their thumbs. I see, like, boxers like wrapping their hands. You're not a boxer. You're playing piano, man. Shouldn't be punching the instrument.
Great music is a mirror. It reminds you of who you are. It reminds you of your own story. It
Oh my
reminds you of those
god.
things that...
Dude, can I see that lip action again?
It reminds you of who you are. It reminds you
Oh
of your
my
own
god,
stories.
dude. Do you do that alone without the camera? That's so great. I'm not even gonna subject you to that. That's
Maybe
pretty
a little hard
crazy.
to look at. It reminds you of your dreams. It reminds you of your pain. And it frees you.
Is this just gonna be a performance?
So hard, good lookers wanna find me. What's 50 grand to me? What's 50 grand to a motherfucker like me? Can you please remind me? Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, I predict an earthquake up in here.
No! Why are there 4 ads on your video, man?
My schedule.
In the middle of a performance. My god. Don't have an ad in the middle of your performance. That's crazy.
Project.
I was watching
An
that.
artist is somebody who can look at the same thing that everybody else is looking at and see something completely different. And then they can show people how to see it their way, how to feel it their way, and give everybody that experience.
I don't know. I disagree with that. It stops at being able to show other people how you see it. That's important to be a successful artist, but I don't think it's important to be an artist in general. So yeah, to make a lot of money. So I guess if we want to interpret it that way, Steven says, you want to make money? Put on a little show, you know, stand on your piano bench and be a cool guy and wear a tight shirt, you know, thrust your hips.
How can
People
we
like
improve
that.
this? What would be a more beautiful way to be? And then you tell people that. And that's art.
Oh my god. That's living, baby. That is living. Nothing in this world feels better than that, my friend.
You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Steven Ridley say that? That was sick. Alright, so that was a 15-minute video I just watched. That's how you make money in this tough world, in this tough music industry. He's hoping that he makes himself an example for everyone else. I think he has. So, you know, post in the comments what you learned about that. Alright, well, I think I have another piece for you. So, please enjoy. You know, my dad always taught me to not waste beer. I don't know, I'm just getting to that point where, like, once I'm around here and it's kind of warm, I just throw that thing away. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting Stephen Ridley episode that we just watched. I don't know what I was expecting. Like, how did that teach us how to make money as a musician? I have no idea. I think he taught us how to not make money as a musician, which is just quit your job and, like, have no plan. So yeah, if you don't want to make money, do that. It makes me think that Stephen might have had something already going on, but I don't know. God, back in the table. Yeah, we got some comments to go into. I sent out a community post, as I tend to do. And one more thing, like I said in the last one, I guess I'll always announce this in the extravaganzas. I will be doing another group Q&A/hangout. It's really more of a hangout than anything. We'll see what kind of direction I want to go with it. Like, it would be kind of cool if everybody came with a guitar and we could kind of just go through and talk about the music that we're working on, and like maybe anybody who wants to play could play, and we could all kind of help each other out. It can also just be like a hangout, Q&A, sort of whatever. But yeah, the last one was really fun. It was great meeting you guys, everybody who joined. You know who you are. So we have another one March 15th at the same time, 6 p.m. EST. There will be a link in this video for it, and I'll also send a community post the day before. You know, feel free to join if you want. Okay. So, like I said, I posted a community post about today's extravaganza. Let's see what y'all had to say. Of course, I posted some questions with it. Some of the questions were, how many push-ups can you do? I don't think anybody answered that one. Well, I'm not going to say what I can do then if nobody else is going to say. Have you ever been in a fight? Surely, if you watch my channel. First YouTube video /Pokemon card, that's a classic one. That's one we're going to ask every single time, because that's what this is. It's a YouTube show where we open up Pokemon cards. Oh, and of course, what tunes are you working on? I'm working on Donna Lee and Olio. And of course, feel free to ask your own questions. Anything goes at the table, and that's true. Anything does go. Well, first, I want to start with this one. Canadian Divergent, friend of the channel, which anyone who answers the community post is obviously friend of the channel. You said, ugh, tomorrow is the Naganu versus AJ fight. Can't wait. Dude, talking about fighting, that's what I'm talking about. We like to fight on this channel. Yep, been in mini scraps. Murked a guy in the subway. What does that mean, dude? You murked him? In the subway one time when I was busking, when he tried to bully me. My god. Had my nose broken trying to fight two guys, which that sounds intense. That's actually the average for sore hands enjoyers. They all get in fights and murk guys on the subways. Right? That's insane, dude. You gotta be careful, man. You gotta hold your bow and stuff. You don't want to break your hands or anything. Yeah, man, scraps. That's cool. You didn't post your push-ups, though. I'm waiting on somebody to be brave enough to do that. Okay, and you said that you're working on Dotsur 14 and 20, Popper 1, the Bach 1st, 3rd, and 6th suites, and Duport 8. That's quite a lot, dude. The whole thing for all those? That's a lot of music, man. Okay, next one. Seeming Music. You actually had two, I think. Knowing you are a cellist, flutist, and pianist. How dare you say that to me? How dare you call me a pianist? I might not even answer your question. I'm just kidding. What are your thoughts on learning and playing secondary instruments? Canadian Divergent would know more about that than me, because he played guitar and cello, based on the comments that I saw. Guitar first and then later cello. It's certainly easier to learn a secondary instrument if you're already pretty good on your first one. You know, I feel like it's kind of like learning a third language or something. Not that I would know. I like speak one language and I barely speak that one. I do dabble with flute. Because I dated a flute player, and I would play her flute. I don't own a flute currently, though. I should get one. I might get one of those Amazon, like, $150 flutes one of these days. I'll unbox it if I do get it. I think if you are going to pick a secondary instrument, you should pick something that's kind of different from the first instrument that you play. I think it's good to learn one, like, single-line melodic instrument, and then one chordal instrument. So you can pick, like, between piano and guitar. You should pick guitar, but if you're a baby, you should pick piano. And then alongside that, pick a more melodic, like, trumpet, flute. But yeah, I think guitar and piano kind of fill an important category of chordal instruments, which, like, the main differences between guitar and piano. Piano, you sacrifice tone and control for more notes, and then guitar, you get less notes, but you get a lot more tone and a lot more control. So, you know, it's all about what you want. Do you really need more than 4 notes at a time anyways, though? I feel like that's already a lot, you know? Piano's stupid. I hate piano. I'm just kidding. I don't hate piano. Okay, and then Seeming Music, your other comment. Does fighting and martial arts classes and tournaments count? Yeah, dude. That's what you should be doing. Fun fact, I did Taekwondo. I got all the way to blue belt, I think, at the dojo that I played at. That was when I was a kid. Other than that, I'm not really a fighter. I mean, I showed you my pepper spray keychain. I am not into fighting, like actual people. I like watching people fight sometimes. Though I don't really watch MMA unless I'm like at my dad's house because he always has it on. Yeah, which kind of goes against the persona that I'm I'm spinning here. It's not really a persona. Otherwise, it's the usual sibling tomfoolery where your brother overarm hurls a large screwdriver into your face. Like the Tool? Oh my god. Are you okay? A screwdriver is a drink to me. I imagine it's like a fighting move, in which the logical step is to transfer the pain I felt into his body. You know, the common brotherly stuff. And you said working on a piece by Mertz, Opus 4, number 2. Very cool. I haven't learned any Mertz, actually. A Nocturne, very pretty. Yeah, man, that's cool. Okay, a few more. This one's from Heidi. I have a silly question. That's okay. Which dinosaur do you think would play guitar the best? Non-avian, specifically. I did say anything goes, didn't I? And then Ming actually replied, LOL, I would say a velociraptor. They got good nails. Oh yeah, that's very true. Man, I don't even know. I feel like I don't even know enough dinosaur species to answer that. Can you guys answer that one for me in the comments? What dinosaur would play guitar the best? Well, here, how about this? I'm gonna give you an AI generated image right now. We're gonna see what the computer thinks about that one. So, enjoy this picture. If I had to pick one, it would probably be the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Ever heard of it? Because it's like the best fighter, and I feel like fighting and guitar go hand in hand. Like if you can fight the best, you can probably play guitar the best. I don't know. There we go. That's about the answer I hope you expected from me. Alright, and then the last one is from Last Chairbender. Friend, this time. Hey man, how's it going? You remembered your first YouTube video is how to be a ninja. Yeah, I remember that video. And you said, I have a good feeling it hasn't aged well. What's your first YouTube video? Yeah, I'm not even gonna touch that YouTube video, man. I don't even want to say the name of the people who made it. I don't want to look it up right now. I'm just gonna leave that one in the air. So, how to be a ninja. I wonder how many views that video has. It probably has like, I'm gonna say 50 million. 56 million. Boom. There we go. They do have some pretty good like martial art moves, I gotta say, if you watch the video.
Well then, How to Be Ninja is a DVD for you.
Okay, we're gonna stop it there. Okay, yeah, well, that's an interesting one. 56 million views, my god. Well, thank you everyone who replied to the community post. There will be another one in approximately 2 weeks, or actually more like 10 days from this video coming out. Well, the show is almost over. Hopefully this has been an enjoyable experience for you. I imagine that I'm premiering it like I did last time. So, hey, me watching with everybody else watching. Hopefully there are people watching. That's going to be embarrassing if not. But I guess we'll find out at this very moment. Alright, well, let's go ahead and bring you closer and we'll, you know. Okay, let's go ahead and open this sucker up. Oh, yeah. That's how you open a pack of Pokemon cards right there. Oh, these things are all tattered. Look at that. Giving you the code. There we go. That's for you. Whoever redeems it. If you redeem it, you must mention it in a comment. That is a requirement. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get... Man, I feel like I'm getting into it kind of fast, actually. Man, is there anything else we should do? Can I show you something? I'm gonna show you something. Okay, we have this. Look at this thing of Gorilla Glue that I got. My mom gave that to me for Christmas. I don't know, I just want to prolong it, because we're at the end of the show now, and it's just kind of sad. And there's not gonna be another one for 2 weeks. Alright, well, there'll always be another practice log where I can talk to you there. Let's see what we got. A leaf! We got a leaf thing. Okay. A Giraffig. A Double Draw. And Psybeam. Whoa, look at what's going on with its tail. It's a Mario thing. Look at that. That is like a Mario thing. A Chomp Chomp. That's what it is. A Pinchurchin. Call for family. Classic move right there. Continuous Tumble. 30 plus damage. Amazing. Let's keep going. A Great Ball. That's great. I'm still not used to this new series of Pokemon cards. Also, you can really see my nails right now. My god. Look at those things. Okay, Great Ball. Boom. A Yungoos. Sharp Fang. God, that is an empty box right there. Just Sharp Fang. No description. Nothing. Nothing to it. If I were a Pokemon card, it would be like Cameron. And it would just be Play Guitar and just no description. Cherubi. Leafage. God, another empty one. 10. Wow, this Pokemon sucks. 50 HP, 1 move, 10 damage, and that's all you get, huh? Dude, this card is terrible. Execute. Execute has to be one of my favorite things. Psybolt. Psybolt! Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. That sounds gruesome. Rockruff. Wow, I love Rockruff. Oh my god. It's like a little dog. It's like a little caveman dog. Invite out. Dude, that's, Boss Rootin does that right there. He invites you out to the alley and then smash kick. Dude, I love this dog. I love the art for this dog. Love Disc. Look at Love Disc. It's a little heart. Emotional Draw. That's what Stephen Ridley did to his mom when he called her at 4 a.m. And Tackle. Okay. Oh, an Emolga. Thundershock. Boring. Wait, oh, dude, this is it? Oh my god, these cards suck. Tangrowth. You waited 2 weeks for this? For a freaking Tangrowth? Suctioning Vines? Oh, okay, we're getting into some interesting territory there. And Hammer In. Suctioning Vines is troubling. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, these cards weren't that great. We'll call it there, though. Yeah. Alright, well, those were the Pokemon cards. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. Yeah, 2 bad weeks in a row. That kind of sucks. But I think the next extravaganza, maybe that one will be better. Man, well, I don't think there's anything else we can go into. So, let's go ahead and get to the outro. Or there might actually be another piece after this. We'll see. I'll see you after the black screen. Hey, I just stood up. That's the only difference now. We're still at the table. I didn't even move it yet. Oh, my nose is itchy. We're at the end of the extravaganza. I know it's sad, but there will be another video tomorrow and another extravaganza in a little less than 2 weeks. And be sure if you can make that that group Q&A hangout slash intense guitar lesson where I expect the world. Be sure to catch me there. Yeah, man, anything else? Well, you know, I mean, if you made it this far, you should subscribe. I'm sure you are if you have made it this far. I mean, my god. I'm sure it's been like 40 minutes now. But, you know, leave a like too. You can always keep doing that. And if you have any other comments about anything, feel free to leave them. I'll answer them in the chair at some point, of course. Alright, well, it's been a pretty fun one. We saw our old friend Steven. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow.